Hello everyone, David here at Fairly Secret Music again. I did a video last night about prog band or metal bands that changed, and uh, you got a bunch of people, well, not a bunch, but enough people saying, "Hey, I miss your prog updates and stuff like that." So I decided my last prog update was showing kind of random stuff throughout the collection, and I figured I'd kind of give you all updates on new progressive stuff that I've gotten since the beginning of 2023. There's a lot of CDs, a few box sets, so we can go through them very quickly. So the first band is Arabs in Aspic, which is a really dumb name, very dumb band name if you ask me, but they're from Norway. I don't know really how to describe this band. It's almost like a progressive band who wants to be kind of like a psychedelic 70s band, but with a little bit of Deep Purple added in there. I haven't listened to them enough to give a really great review, but one thing I noticed last night is I had no water and I was getting really parched by the end of that video. So I'm going to quickly just go through their discography that I own. A lot of their stuff have, at least one naked person on the cover. So fuck it. I don't care if this is going to get taken down for nudity or whatever. If you want to pause it, you can see the albums there. And last but not least, the most kind of generic cover. Those are the Arabs and Aspic CDs that I do own. I got those all almost. I think I got them all in one shot from Laser CD. We cannot talk about Prog in 2023 without talking about Rock Flout. And I actually kind of like the whole idea behind this. It's songs about Norse mythology characters. I don't think Ian Anderson's voice is as horrible as everybody says. I think there's a lot of people that aren't taken into account. The guy is at least 70 something years old. I don't even remember how old he is at this point. So he's not going to sound like he did in 50 years ago. 50 fucking years ago. And you want him to sound exactly like he did when he was 26 or whatever, or 23. So give him a break. His flute playing is fantastic, top-notch flute playing. And he does a lot more of that than like there are more instrumental passages. I've only listened to this once, and then I listened to it again while I was kind of compiling this stack OCDs. But I actually, I'm excited for Broadsword and the Beast to come out in that 8-disc box set. I know there's a lot of people who are like, I even replied to, did a Amazon review basically calling out two douchebags who decided they were going to talk shit about a CD set because they didn't want to have to pay $80 to get the 5.1. Well, dummies, it's on import CD for $58. Just order it through there. As you can tell, I'm not a nice person when it comes to everyday average idiots. Fates Warning FWX. So this came out beginning of July. Disconnected is coming out, I believe, on the 29th. And I believe that one is remastered. I'm going to have to do some digging a little bit, because I thought this one was remastered, but it sounds identical to the original version. And honestly, I'm not even sure why they would need to remaster those two albums, because they sounded fine to begin with, especially this one. This one I don't mind having, because, you know, I get these 2 or 3 bonus tracks, Wish kind of remix weird thing. But the 2 drum demos are kind of pointless. And they are in digipacks. I don't really enjoy digipacks so much. At least it has the tray card, or, you know, instead of sliding it in and out past cardboard. So if you already have this on CD, you don't really need to buy the new version. I believe Disconnected is going to be remastered. This, however, was a must-buy. Cynic's Refocused, which is a completely new remix and obviously remaster of their debut album. I want to say I wish the bass was a little bit more present, but they didn't bury it as much as I initially thought they were going to, because I had heard one track, and you know, if you do an ABC comparison to the original CD to the remaster from the early 2000s and then this one, all 3 of them sonically are completely different. This one, I want to say, is more kind of spacious, I guess. It doesn't have quite as much muddiness to it. It wasn't really a muddy album to begin with, really, but when you listen to all 3 of them together, the remaster just kind of boosts levels and stuff like that. This one, of course, does boost levels, volume levels, but there are some really cool differences in like keyboard passages or synth guitar passages. So I highly recommend getting this. Let's do these in the order they came out. This is a band that Ken from Laser CD talked about on his Facebook page, and I didn't know about them. They're called Ring Van Mobius. I believe they are also from Norway. There's a lot of bands from Norway that love their prog, and which, you know, cool, and more power to them. I'm just trying to make sure that they are from Norway. I don't know, but it is a 3-piece, a bass player, keyboardist who sings, and drummer. So basically the whole, or no, is that guy the guitar player? Let me double check this one. Do I have a flashlight down here? I hate to turn on the overhead lights, but I am going to do it just because I get all this weird shadow shit going on. Yes, so he's a Fender bass player. You know, if it wasn't so damn bright, I would have it on like that, but I think this gives you a better picture. So basically the same kind of ELP setup. The cool thing is he sounds a lot like Peter Hamill at times, and when he sounds like Peter Hamill, that really is awesome. And on this first album, he does quite a bit. The second album, he kind of moves away a little bit from his obvious Peter Hamill stuff, but then on the newest one, which my friend Jason bought me as a get well gift for my back surgery, he sounds quite a bit like Peter Hamill, especially on the first couple tracks. And this album is super awesome. And don't let the fact that it was originally kind of spurred on by a commission for an art project, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but they kind of took what ideas they had from that and kind of expanded on them and just made it their own. Lars Fredrik Frosle, I think is the pronunciation. This is the Fire Tellers. What is it called? Fire for Tellinger. I told you, I have no good light down here. But this was him during the COVID lockdown. He did everything mainly on keyboards. All acoustic guitars are done on like clavier or something like that. He also played drums. The only thing he didn't play was bass, so that is pretty cool. I picked up the Renaissance Azur d'Or. Let me see, I might move this really quick. So this is one of those clamshell box sets, and it comes with a nice thick booklet with lots of liner notes, all the lyrics. And then you get, let's see, disc 1, I believe, I want to say this is remastered, or, yeah, remastered disc 1. Disc 2 is new stereo remix. Disc 3 is the new 5.1 surround sound and stereo mixes, original high resolution also. And then you get another booklet which just has lots of photos and some more liner notes. So I also ended up picking up, finally, the Yes Fly From Here return trip. I recently put out a kind of like a post on a Prog collector or CD collector thing, asking people which one they thought was better. I think the original is better than this. Some people said you can hear Chris Squire's harmonies and his bass a little bit better on here. I haven't done an A-B comparison. I just like Benoit David's voice a lot more than, what is his name? I can't believe it. Mr. Buggles. What is his name? Trevor Horn. Is it Trevor Horn? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, I don't regret buying this, but I just think, they should have left well enough alone. Just, even though I love drama, they should have, not drama like relationship drama, but I love the album drama. They should have just stuck with the original and just left it at that, because I think it was kind of in poor taste to redo it after they kind of unceremoniously sacked Benoit David. I picked up this band called Car Mechanic. And what a horrible name. And this is done by the bass player from Flower Kings, Jonas Reinhold, and it has nobody else that I really know, but I really love his bass playing, so I thought, you know what, a band kind of led by him I will get. So I got that one and this one. They're pretty good, but they weren't quite as good as I was hoping for. In a Perfect World and what is this one called? Who's the Boss in the Factory? Kind of stupid title. One album that I was not going to get, but I am so glad I did, is Siege's Even. This is the first album Paramount with their their second singer, I should say, because they've broken up long ago. And they're a little bit Christian, I found, which doesn't really bother me. But there is some amazing catchiness on this album and fantastic harmonies. So if you like bands kind of in that mystery, Fates Warning-ish kind of proggy kind of area, I would give this album a good listen. And what was it? I cannot. Maybe it was Iconic or Eyes Wide Open. I'm not 100% sure. Which is funny because when I think of Eyes Wide Open, I think of, wasn't it Creed that did it? Eyes wide open. You're saying open, right? I'd picked this up early this year. I just recently got around to listening to it. I mean, it's not the best lineup, but you know, I just keep on getting the Zappa stuff. Not out of, because I didn't get the Eerie thing because it is absolutely ridiculously priced. But these ones are good prices for what you get. I mean, you get 3 discs, and I think this was under $30. So they are giving you some great live stuff. And then this funky nothingness came out. Gosh, what was it? Just recently, wasn't it? Within the last month, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I have been buying a lot less, because I knew that I had the surgery coming up and stuff like that, so had to kind of cut back on the spending on the CDs. And I also was starting to run out of stuff that I really, really wanted. This is actually really awesome because it's them in the studio kind of working on an album, I believe, after Hot Rats. And, well, it's got Ainsley Dunbar on it. So, I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want an album with Ainsley Dunbar? Now I'm feeling dumb. Yeah, Ainsley Dunbar. But this had a really cool lineup. And then there are some guests on there. A lot more bluesy than I was expecting, but still just some really great playing. And again, Ainsley Dunbar. 2 words. That's all you need to know. I think that guy is still alive too. Here's another that I will move this aside for. Van der Graaf, the Bath Forum concert. So this is one of the last shows they've played. I don't know how much longer these guys are going to be playing around. I know Peter Hamill has had some health problems, so I'm hoping they do maybe another album. I would certainly buy another album. Um, but this has interference patterns, every bloody emperor, a louse is not a home, masks, childhood faith and childhood's end, go, La Rosa, Alpha Berlina, Over the Hill, Room 1210, Man Erg, and House with No Door. Any live version of La Rosa that I can get, I will purchase. It doesn't matter. Well, within reason. But this has a DVD of the full concert, a Blu-ray of the full concert. Don't know why. And 2 discs that make up the full concert, plus a little booklet that is kind of minimal, but I'm okay with that. I already know everything about all the stuff on here. I don't need any more reading material. Well, what can we say about this new Yes album? Mirror to the Sky. I was trying to read what it said. It's almost like it's a black metal album on the side here in this dark. I'm going to have to put a light above me behind here for my next video, I think. I will say a few things. I really do like the guy who is their vocalist. I think he is great. I don't think he's as awesome and sounds as good as Benoit David, but I think for a John Anderson sound-alike who can kind of do some things that are his own, I think that is awesome. I think the 2 powerhouse performances on this album are Jay Schelling on drums and Billy Sherwood on bass. They finally seem to have been let off the leash, as it were. I mean, I know Jay did part studio albums, or maybe it was all Alan White studio, and then Jay would just do live. I can't even remember how all that stuff worked, but I think there was a lot of lack of energy on the last few because of Alan's health, and I'm not criticizing him. I mean, he has nothing to do with how well he feels and stuff like that, but there should have been a point where they're just like, you know what, we'll keep you on the payroll, we'll keep you kind of like plugged in, but we kind of have to move on to a new drummer who's going to do the tours and who can do all of them. I think he was doing the tours though, so I don't know. I just felt that the drums on the last few albums kind of lacked any energy, and I know exactly what feeling like shit is like, and to have to do drums while you feel like shit. So but this is pretty awesome. I don't know why they just didn't put it all on one goddamn disc though. Come on. Maybe it is a little bit past the 80-minute mark. Again, I didn't say this was all stuff that came out this year, just stuff that I picked up. I found this used, and I didn't get it for probably like 2 months. It had sat there for like 2 or 3 months. And one day I was, sitting at Devani's, eating a hoagie, and I thought, you know what? I think I should get that Momentary Lapse of Reason box set, because it's remixed and it's updated. I'm just reading the side here. I wanted to hear what it sounded like in 5.1, and it's pretty okay for 5.1. Wait a second. Jesus. Please don't tell me that I'm imagining that this is in 5.1. Do, 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 do. I remember the night I picked it up, I got all the, yeah, it is in 5.1. Yeah. I buy too much shit. Um, I remember doing a comparison, like an ABC comparison, because I have the original CD compared to the remaster, then compared to this. One thing they do is kind of change the placement of where Dogs of War either starts or ends. I can't remember which one it is. Because one version, the track marker switches before a certain thing is heard. Or it might have been, let's see here, A New Machine Part 1. I'm not 100% sure. But, yeah, it was, I think, worth getting. I would love to have all the Pink Floyd stuff from a certain point. Probably from, oh gosh, I can't remember chronologically what order they go through. You know, well, I have Animals in 5.1. Can't remember if Atom Heart Mother is before that. But yeah, I would like everything actually in 5.1. That would be really cool. Not so progressive, but Toya, live at Dury. I am getting all of these. Live at Dury Lane, sorry. I'm getting all of these Rock Candy, not Rock Candy, heaven, if they were done by Rock, Cherry Red Records. The next one is Chameleon, which is really awesome because that means there's only one more studio album that I have to get. And the Chameleon one also has an EP. I can't remember the name of that, but they also put that out on vinyl recently. Transatlantic, The Final Flight live at the Olympia. This is the album, the newest or the last Transatlantic was basically the album that sent me off on a prog rock rabbit hole. Basically, head first down a Portnoy, Neil Morse, Royna Stoltz, Flower Kings, all that stuff, rabbit hole. And this is fantastic. I've watched, I would say, about 80% of the show, and the sound, the visuals are fantastic. One person on Progressive Ears was complaining about how there was weird kind of overlays of images, like that ship flying through, and he said something to the effect of, hey, I had surgery where before I had the surgery, I couldn't see anything, but now I can see everything clear, and now I have to see this stupid visuals. And I said, you know what? God, what did I say? You may have had surgery to make you see things clear, but you're totally still blind to what you have gained in life. Because it was like, I'm sorry, dude, you couldn't see that shit beforehand. Now you can, and the first thing to do is the bitch about it. Just thank your fucking upright walking God that you can see again. Sorry. Anyway, I highly recommend this. It's fantastic. This I have not delved in too much. I tend to always go for the Gabriel related stuff, which is good. This is more of a, hey, it's a completist kind of thing, and I will listen to the the Wembley stuff. I'm just not the biggest later era Genesis fan, so I have to be in the right mood for that. But yeah, so boop boop doop boop Genesis. The final one that, well, until they announced that they are continuing this series with Strange Engine, the Strange Engine. I don't know how far into things they're going. I hope they get up to at least Marbles, because I would love Marbles in 5.1. But this is fantastic. What is not fantastic is the fact that the drum tracks that they used, I think, were alternate drum tracks, because if you listen on Uninvited Guests, where he sings, "You can fly to the edge of the world, you know you'll always find, I reserve the seat behind you, we can talk about other times," and then Ian originally did this thing where it was like, and he hits a china, and in the video, there's a spot where Hogarth does like pretend like he got slapped by the china. That china cymbal hit the 2 times that it's really obvious is not in there. On the studio album, on the 5.1 Ricks, not in there at all. So I don't know if that's cool or not. Luckily, I have, 2 or 3 versions of this already. So I can just listen to that version, and only dorky, drummer guys like myself are gonna be really listening for that. I don't mind this redone version of the artwork. I mean, again, I have it multiple times, and I'm sure there is a version of the cover in here someplace. Maybe not. The one downside is this is a what is it? What year is this? 2022 version of them doing Seasons and Concert. So I would have rather had something around the 91, 92, 93 era, but I'll get over it. And then we're going to go through these really quick, and these are not in chronological order, but I've been buying these Flower Kings. They are remastered and partially remixed, which probably pisses a lot of people off. Why not just remix the whole thing if you're going to do it? But I can get it. Like, maybe he's like, well, that song sounds fantastic. This song has some things that need to be redone. Roy Stolt is partially the most indecisive human being I've ever encountered in music. First he wants Flower Kings, then he doesn't want Flower Kings, then he does, then he's gonna remaster a bunch of stuff, then he's gonna remix and remaster all this stuff. I have the box sets that they did, the 2 box sets, but I thought, you know what, I like the band enough, I'll get these, and they were kind of fun to collect and everything. The one downside is this thing was $22. It's a single disc. Why did they price it as a double disc? Stupid. This one was priced accordingly. This is the Paradox Hotel. Actually, I'm going to just move this again out of my way because I really do not need it. Paradox Hotel. What do we got here? Space Revolver. And again, each of these comes with a little hype sticker, which I put on inside there. And no liner notes or anything like that, but they have all the lyrics and a bunch of photos. So I didn't know these were coming out when I was in search of those box sets. So either way, I'm good. Adam and Eve, Unfold the Future. This is one of my favorites, especially the song Devil's Playground. and The Truth Will Set You Free is so awesome. Devil's Playground, you will hear obvious differences. At the beginning of that song, he sings something. Let me see what he says on Devil's Playground. He says something. This is how. Something. He sings, "This is how you do it." No, I can't remember exactly what he sings, but there's one version where he sings it, or he says it one way, and then they changed it to a sung version. So, Rainmaker. Flower Power. I'm going to take that down. Retropolis. Stardust We Are. Back to the World of Adventures. And because I had to order a few of these from Laser CD, I also picked the live 2003 Meet the Flower Kings on stage playing their epics. And this has Truth Will Set You Free, Garden of Dreams Part 1 and 2, Humanismo, Circus, Brimstone, Silent Inferno, and Stardust We Are. So the shortest thing on here is 11 minutes. Everything else is 16, 23, 26, 27, 17, and 32. And there is a DVD that does have this show that I was able to watch on YouTube. Because I couldn't find the DVD. So I was just like, well, I'll just watch it on YouTube. Anyway, hopefully you dig some of that stuff, and or I showed you something that you're like, whoa, shoot, I forgot I was going to buy that. Let me know if I reminded you about anything or turned you on to anything new. All right. You have a great night or afternoon or morning. Bye.